This year has been madness. Even the Knicks are in the playoffs. We're halfway through 2021. We're on the other side of Memorial Day, and things are ramping up. Is your agency ready?
The world is coming back a little bit. There's fans in the stands. There's pent-up demand for agency services, and that means that this is a line in the sand moment for agencies. We want to talk about people. We want to talk about process. We want to talk about partnership, because the time is now for agencies to seize the opportunity. I think people is a great place to start. So with demand for services comes demand for bandwidth, internally. And I know that, I want to turn to you here. You spend, 50 hours a week in Indeed, vetting people. So why don't you talk a little bit about people and how we prepare for the opportunity that it is now?
I think your agency is the people that work there, and I think that it is so important to have the right team. When you've got the right team, everything's possible. And one of the things we've got to do as agency leaders is make sure that we're ahead of the curve, ahead of the volume. And that's really the importance of this moment right now. As the world opens back up and opportunity is there, are we ready for it? And so we've called this kind of a line in the sand moment, where agencies can be looking at the things that Rob just identified, the people, our process, our product suite, and really reevaluate going forward and where we're at with all that. And it starts with people. People are the most important asset that you've got as an agency. Not only do you have to have the right ones, but you have to have enough of them.
Every agency we've talked to has just had a tough time finding the right people, whether they're already scooped up because of the demand, or some of them just don't really want to dive in and get to work.
It's been a different moment. It really has. And I think the moment after 15 months now almost of the world being in a weird place, there's a lot of people that seem to be not in the labor market. and that makes it very difficult to hire. And I've been fortunate enough to have agency owners reach out to me. And the thing that they're telling me is it is very difficult to hire. And that's really why they reach out to us, is to have that, that adjunct partnership, what we call digital performance partnership team, right at your ready, that scales with your business volume. So I think that's why people have reached out to us more over the last number of months, because the folks are hard to find and hard to aggregate. Working from home is hard to start an ad ops, team. So there's a lot of things working against those agencies in their attempt to scale.
But with the challenge of hiring and staffing up that everyone's having right now, comes opportunity. And it's the challenge in staffing is not just at the agency level, at the advertising level. We have partners that are running recruitment campaigns for the world, right?
Yeah, I think that one example is one of our partners. They're in a resort town, right? So they're a resort town, and they need to staff for restaurants, hotels, and they need to find people. And what I think is unique in this situation right now is they're looking at new channels, right? TikTok, Snapchat, and looking to get in these channels that they weren't even thinking about, to just get the word out there to the people that may be looking for a job. I think that's one example. So the opportunity in the recruitment space is one, but also there's accounts that are putting more money into their marketing dollars because of the revenue that is continuing to generate for their client, right? And they're trying to keep up the marketing because the demand of the goods and services are just going through the roof, and they're trying to balance it out. So there's tremendous opportunity in the right verticals. So I think that's one area to really continue to focus on the other side of this craziness.
I mean, we've talked about land and expand here for hours, countless times. But right now, I mean, that's hitting a moment, as well. Exactly. So when you have your accounts that see the results, see the ROI, they're doubling, tripling, quadrupling down, because in many verticals right now, the demand is just skyrocketing.
Exactly.
And
I think one of the things that we want to do too is take a look at some of those things that we've always done. So for instance, recruitment advertising has traditionally been a reactive kind of model, right?
Yep.
It's Indeed, it might be LinkedIn, it might be whatever. But now in this environment, it's got to be a proactive endeavor. We've got to reach people that may not be looking for a job and let them know about the great opportunities that we've got, as opposed to just waiting for that right person to come. So I think the model might be altered a little bit.
I think that with the proactivity preparation is key. So we're hitting P's all over the place right now, from people, process, partnerships, productivity, preparation. We'll keep it going. But I think that leads into process. I think that leads into partnership. And it's, are you ready? Are you ready for the moment? I know that there's been agencies where bandwidth has been at a surplus internally over the last 15 months because the account volume hasn't been there. Yeah. I think the agencies the agencies that have taken that time to evaluate their process, to make sure that they've built strategic partnerships, are the ones that are set. Some agencies aren't set yet. There's still time to hit that. I think that the process piece is just so important that as volume comes in, you have to be prepared to handle
I think
that.
the best agencies that we've worked with and that are most prepared are the ones that internalize and look into their systems on the inside, from the inside out, and are ready at this moment to meet this. The agencies, I think, that are struggling and kind of stuck in the mud a little bit are the ones that really didn't focus on process, and they were looking to just try to keep everything afloat, which is completely understandable in that craziness of last year. But the ones that look internally, I know us in particular, we look to double down on our partnerships, right? Because as accounts kind of stalled out across the world, right? Looking into your partnerships and how you're both navigating this time and doing it together just allowed for us to just identify new opportunities and new ideas, and we did that through partnership. And I think that's important for us to understand, as well as all the agencies out there.
And I think people have doubled down on the concept of strategic partnership now.
Agree.
So where before it was, we had to build it. There was time invested, there was money invested, there was, the aggregation of building the right team. But now finding the right strategic partner, like we found a number of platform-oriented partners.
Yes.
And so while we don't consider ourselves a vendor, we consider ourselves a partner. We consider our platforms partners.
Absolutely.
Not just platforms. So ultimately, we look to create partnerships with those platforms, and with a platform like Teamwork, for instance.
Absolutely.
That's been so instrumental in us getting a handle on our process.
Yep.
And so those folks have been tremendous. So I think you're right, tapping into strategic
And
partnerships.
just squeezing out every element of the platform because we're trying to figure out what, right? There was just not a lot of volume last year, right? So making sure that we're squeezing out every ounce of our strategic partnerships just made everything just that much better.
So I think one of the things that, we talk about a lot about around here is begin with the end in mind. And when you do that and you're looking at strategic partners, we recommend that you look at them exactly like vet a strategic partner just as you would an employee on your team. It is that important, so if you're looking for vendors, there's a bunch of vendors out there. If you're looking for partners, that team has to be aligned with your strategic goals, with your tactical execution. They've got to be lined up with you to allow you the ability to scale and maximize whatever opportunities that you've got. So that becomes extremely important. And that's, we try and do that here with everybody. We recommend highly that our agencies look to find those partnerships, because once you've got them, boy, things open up. And not only is the world opened up, but the opportunities have opened up, and those partnerships can really help you take advantage of the opportunity that's out there for you right now, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, nothing in this space is commoditized right now, and partnerships help you get that value, help you get a customized solution for what it is that you're looking for. Yeah. If it's just a package that everyone else is getting, what's your differentiation? What's going to work there? So there's been a lot of trial and error, I think, that's happened with partnerships, especially over the last year. But finding those ones that work, and just like your accounts are doubling down on you and our accounts are doubling down on us right now, doubling down on strategic partnerships internally is a great scalable way to grow and to seize the moment.
Yep. And I think it's easy to tell those partner-oriented companies. Like, look at our relationship with Google. When we've got data, insight, research, we work directly with them. We're not guessing, we're knowing based on the data because they're helping us. And that's what you want your partner platforms to be able to help with, is to give you the insight, to give you the knowledge, to give your clients a leg up. By us working really closely with our partners, it allows our agencies to even work more closely with us. So it seems like the theme of the conversation to this point has been partnership. Yep. And I think the recommendation that we'd make to our agencies, our friends out there that are looking really at the back half of this year as a huge opportunity for them, get your internal team together, get your internal process together, make sure your product suite is lined up, and then if you need help, reach out to find that partner that potentially might be out there. In our space, white label digital performance marketing, there's a number of different white label companies out there, and explore them, find out what they offer, find out who lines up best with your own agency values. We have a number of agencies reach out to us, and sometimes you just click and you know it's right. They know it's right, and it makes for a great partnership. Sometimes it's not a fit, and that's okay. But there's companies out there that might be a perfect match for that particular agency. So vet those relationships hard, and develop those, work those, and boy, the sky could be potentially the limit for the second half of this year.
Absolutely.